Okay,
I don't know if you remember, but the last couple of episodes, you've done the counts, and I've been sitting here like, oh, sorry, we need to do that again. I missed that one.
No, that's true. That is true.
I'm talking about me. I'm like, I don't know if it's gonna work.
Fingers crossed. No fingers crossed, because you have to snap and clap.
Exactly. Fingers moving, is it?
Yeah, exactly.
Moving fingers. Hello and welcome to That Beautiful Life podcast. This is episode 154 of That Beautiful Life podcast. My name is Caduce Campbell, sitting here in the beautiful Reading, United Kingdom, talking to the beautiful Rog Bergstrom all the way in Stockholm, Sweden. Rog, how are you doing, bud?
I am doing better, if that makes sense. No, it's been a week. It's been a week, definitely, and I haven't been feeling well. I'm not going to lie. As I told you, you knew that also. We've been in contact, and I know you've had one of those as well. It's been a flu week. It was a long time ago. Usually, if I get a cold, it's over like in 3-4 days. But now, it's been a week. Of course, like the peak was mainly 2-3 days, when you don't feel that well. And you gotta try to be still and not do too much. Since I had some fever also. But it's, and my wife got sick too, Annalie. We have been recovering. That's it, I guess. It kind of put a kind of filter over the whole week. I was slower. I couldn't really do. I did my stuff, but it not in the same kind of effective manner, if I put it like that. I wasn't 100%. I mean, that's how it is, and I think it's also important to sometimes realize that you need I need to rest. To just maybe lay down even and rest. I did that a bit too. And that seems to help. I mean, usually when you get sick, a good sleep also makes you feel better later. So I guess that's it. It's been mainly that. So I haven't been doing anything outside the box. It's me at home, doing my usual stuff and trying to recover. Been taking my meds when it comes to like natural stuff. I would say I have my doings. so yeah, that's it. Came some more snow came down the other day. It's been not like as much as it was like 3 weeks ago, when it just came like 35-40 centimeters of snow here in the south part of Sweden. But it's quite beautiful actually, because it's this more powder light snow, since it's colder now. It's around 10 minus degrees Celsius, 8-10 minus degrees. So unfortunately though, it's been, the problem though, again, also here in this part, is that it's like the humid kind of cold. So it's really, even though you dress up well, and that's the problem also when you're sick. I tried to get some air, I went out, but I felt also, since I have mainly felt this cold or flu in my nose and like my head, forehead and everything, it almost became worse, because if it's a bit of wind too, and you're walking like that, oh shit, it doesn't feel that nice. I would rather lay on a beach in the Caribbean, to be honest. If I could choose.
I'll be honest, when you are sick in the Caribbean, you do recover quite quickly. Actually, it's not as granted, the kind of flus we get in the Caribbean are not the same like the ones here. I feel like
that I can imagine.
Yeah. I do feel like the flus we get in the Caribbean are a lot different than the one you get here. And also, flu season is different in the Caribbean as well. Flu season in the Caribbean is usually around, at least for Trinidad, it's around February, March.
Okay.
It happens around carnival time. So whenever we have carnival, that's when flu.
Okay.
Because foreigners come in with their flu and then they give it to us, and then we're like, okay, it's like, these damn foreigners with their flus.
It's the foreigners' fault.
Coming in with their flus and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Aye.
Coming in and
throw them back into the water.
Infecting us with their flus. Yes. Not very nice.
The plank.
Walk the plank, mate. Get off my ship. This is my ship. I'm the captain now.
All of a sudden it turned into Pirates of the Caribbean thing.
That's basically it. Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, that's the way it is. That's it.
I think we would have been good pirates together, don't you think?
Oh, you know what? It'd be awesome. It'd be so awesome. I'd basically Jack Sparrow the hell out of everything. That'd be so cool.
Yes. Okay, that was just a picture I got in my head. We can move on. Two sick pirate captains, I guess, like coughing a bit. Well, it's not that much, but you've had some coughing going on, isn't it?
Yeah, I've had some, but I'm on the rebound, so I'm not
That's good.
fully over the whole cough because of the fact that I've still got a bit of coughing, but I'm on the rebound with regards to my cough. So I feel good. I'm not coughing as much. I'm doing things like normal and so forth. And I think for me, what I did with regards to like helping recover my cough is I stayed away from certain things that I like eating. Things with cheese in it, I stayed away from. I try to eat that's more healthy because I know cheese adds to phlegm.
That is true actually. Yep.
Yeah, and I've made sure to get my rest. That is a must. I've made sure to get some rest this week, and I've also made sure to what do you call this thing? I've also made sure to get some exercise. Getting out of the house, going for walks, going cycling. All of these things have helped. So just generally speaking, exercise, eating. I'm not saying I ate the best I could eat, but I've eaten better than eating as poorly as I could eat, essentially.
Yeah.
And getting some rest, as well as this. The last thing is drinking African sea coconut, which is that medicine that my sister recommended to me, the Chinese medicine.
Right.
And that stuff helps you nice. So I've been having that a lot this week, and I had some this morning just before we started. To be honest, I got up.
Good.
And I think the only reason I'm like that, you can hear me coughing now at the moment, is because I was just eating some cereal, and for whatever reason, whenever I just eat cereal, the sort of crumbs from the cereal scratches my throat.
Yeah.
So I would. Mm-hmm.
But also milk can be, it's a bit like almost slimy for like phlegm. If you're like yogurt, milk can also for the phlegm, if you have a cold like cough and stuff, it can actually make it. Just that, not like the whole time, but just when you're eating it, it can kind of start to, irritate a bit for some at least. So, but it's nice to hear that there we are, trying to do what we can to recover and everything. And I'm glad to hear that you're also getting better. I was just thinking though that, but you've been also taking care of, you take care of each other, I guess. Your family has been ill, isn't that so? Or
I call them weak sauce, to be honest. I'm just like, look at you guys, just weak sauce. All of you sick peoples, I was thinking to myself, Xavi's, he's the one, he's the chosen one. He hasn't gotten sick. And then he came in like, I think was it like yesterday or the day before, he came in coughing, and he's like, Dad, I've got a headache. I'm like, mate, what are you talking about? Like, stop being weak sauce, He's like, my head's hurting. It's really hurting. I was like, okay, well, I was like, you can go lay down. And then, I ended up giving him some paracetamol, I think, for the migraine. I don't take a lot of pills and stuff when it comes to anything. And no, the thing is, he took the paracetamol the first night. He came back the next day and he had a migraine. And then he was offered the paracetamol again, and he's like, no, I just need some rest, which is what I would usually say. And so, at that point in time, I was like, he's getting manly now. Yes. He's making the manly choice, not the weak sauce choice. But yeah, I also made corn soup for them. My very famous, corn soup. So, yesterday I made corn soup, and I made it the day before, I think, as well. And, when I made the corn soup, I made a corn soup the day before, and I shared some with our bestie Natalia. So she was sick as well. So it was her son's birthday on Sunday, and we were supposed to go over to hers, and she calls and says, "Hey, can't do the birthday. I'm not feeling well." But then she's like, "But I've got cake for you guys, right?" So. So basically, she was like, "You can come get it in the morning." But I was like, if I can't, in my mind, I'm like, I can't go across by Tally in the morning. I'm going to be busy. Like, I don't want to go across there in the morning time. But at that point in time, I was already outside. Like, I was already doing stuff. I was on the road because I went to buy ingredients and stuff to cook the soup. So I said to her, you know what, I'll just pop over to you today and get the cake and drop some soup for you. And so she's like, okay, cool. So I went over to hers after I made the soup, dropped it off for her, got some cake from her, chatted for a bit, and then came back. And then everyone ate the soup, and they were all, the soup was amazing. But then I made a soup yesterday, and this time I put like some kind of crab chunks in it, and oh, Roger, that was it. The whole house was like, oh my God, this is the best soup you've ever made. I was like, I know.
Ooh.
It was so good. Zavi was like, oh, I'm so sick. He comes and says, Dad, I'm so weak. Can't make it. I was like, here's your soup, Zavi. He's like, okay. I was like, how much corn do you want? Usually Zavi's like, I'll have as many as you can give me. He's like, I'll just have one corn. Oh, I can't make it. Oh, I can see the light. Right? He sits down at the table to eat his soup. And he's like, oh, it's so good. Oh, he comes back after he finishes the bowl. He's like, Dad, can I have some more, please? Just one more corn and about a half bowl of soup, please. Mr. Oh, I can't make.
Look at that. Yeah.
And then he comes, Dad, can I watch the football with you?
Oh.
I was like, my soup it has healing properties. You have recovered now, So yeah, so he's doing.
That's good.
I'm just saying, if you want to recover from your sicknesses, just let me know. I make a good soup. I'll send over some to Sweden. Yeah.
Yep. I could need that. That's soup. Yeah, it's true. A good soup could be really nice if you have a cold or flu or something. That's recovery food.
You know what? Next time I visit, I'm making you corn soup. I'm gonna make you a corn soup.
Yeah, that would be nice.
So you're gonna have my famous corn soup, and I may bring ingredients on my suitcase because I'm not sure if I'll find it in Sweden. So I may bring some of the ingredients that I need. Yeah. I'm sure I can find butternut, squash, and potatoes. So those two I won't need to bring, but I'm gonna need some of the other stuff, and I'm gonna bring some soup for you.
Cool.
So I'm gonna make you some soup. We're gonna do like we did last time. We're gonna bubble up hot in the kitchen together. It's gonna be great.
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
that's a must.
That's it. That's not part of the tradition now. It is tradition for us now.
True. Yeah.
That's it. It's basically. So
I like that.
That's mainly been the week. Ty has been doing great as per usual. Top tier at school. No problems there. He's been Zavi's been doing fine. Alex has been doing fine as well at work. And I've got something to tell you that I forgot to tell you, but I have to tell you after the podcast. It's something that is private, really private, that I can't really talk about on the show yet.
Yeah,
then we wait. It's something that I do need to tell you, so you need to remind me after we finish.
I'll keep that in the back of my head and pop it out later. So
yeah. But that being said, it's been a good week. And so yeah, not too bad. How about we talk about some Vigima games? Are we good to talk about Vigima games?
Yeah, I think we can do. I think we can do that. I was just thinking. I needed to fill in though. I think it's like it's 15th of December. Can you imagine that? It's
always
so
this.
What?
The year's
so close
gone.
To Christmas. I just
gone.
What's happening? Where's the years going? Yeah, it's soon a new year as well. I just wanted to say that. I just wanted to to let it sink in a bit and what it means and everything. Okay. With that said, yes, I don't know why I need to do that. It just felt that I needed to get out of my system. Video gaming. I can start. I've been playing. Of course, that's always various games. You might say. I am playing a new game that I might have mentioned before, which is the Callisto Protocol. This is kind of an anticipated game, I guess, for quite a few people. It's definitely in the genre of games such as Dead Space and everything, and. The problem though is like there are two.
There's
there
a
are
problem
few
with
problems.
it.
Yeah, there's some problems. There's some problems. Can you believe it or not? I mean, the good thing is here again, like Steam. Steam. It's a solid platform, and you have family share and all that good stuff. So, I mean, Isaac, I knew that he would get the Callisto Protocol. So I said, you know what? Can I also play it? Yeah, sure. So
he should say no. He should just say
no. Come on, Q. He didn't. I raised him well. Yeah. So playing it, streaming it, but that's definitely on the limit. I mean, I knew with my current setup that it would be hard to play this game to a certain extent. I mean, granted that I don't have like the powerful graphics card I had before. I have now been looking. Maybe I told you already on during Black Friday and Black November weeks. It's more
Black
like that
November.
now. Yeah. It's more like that now, right?
It's a
Than
whole
a
month.
certain day. Yeah, the whole month. But I mean, due to also economics, but also the fact that there were some parts missing. I mean, I talked to Adam and he said we could wait to after Christmas and see. There's also a the prices go down after Christmas. We'll see, whatever have you. But even so, I've been playing it. But the thing is, it's not that well optimized. So even though I mean Isaac, even though with his rig, he had problems playing, the game. There were some places, some environments, some rooms where it just gets tanky. It has a hard time. Like, I haven't had any stuttering or something like that, but it's definitely, you can feel that the performance is going down, and it's almost to the limit where I've said when I'm streaming, okay, I'm not sure if I can continue to stream this game because it really affects my. It gets hard, if you lose frames. You know how it is, and this game has even though I said it has similarities with the Dead Space series, it has a different kind of combat system completely. This is more like you have to learn in a way some skill there. You have to time it right when it comes to dodging, when these monsters are attacking and everything, and that's kind of cool. But I also found out some more flaws. For example, I mean, you upgrade you find like this rod, like an electric rod, like a baton, and you can upgrade your weapons. And what they also like to do is that they want you to do combos. So they kind of steer you away in the way of fighting, which means that they want you to, like, you hit it, you melee, and then you dodge, and then you melee again, and then you get this icon of crosshair so you can shoot. And shoot is effective because you stun with this pistol. You stun them pretty well, so you can do like the final blows. But I mean, sometimes you don't have any ammo, and then it can become a problem when it shows the combo, because that kind of slows you down then, and you have to wait and dodge even more to continue to hit them. And I'm at the point now in the game. I got really stuck there the last stream, where I was struggling with performance too. I have to say that to my defense, but also there was some really like chubby guys coming up, and even though I cornered the guy and I was like Muhammad Ali, I was dodging to the left and right. I didn't get hit. I hit him like 8 times or something, and he did go down. And then he hit me once, and I died instantly. It was those kind of things. I was like, wait, what kind of balance is this to start with? And especially since I'm not even playing on hard. But as Crazy said, he played it on hard. And he said, usually I do those kind of things too with games like this. But this time I didn't. I didn't want to do it, especially also due to the performance. But he said it looks as if you're playing on hard. I don't know. It's kind of weird. And also when you're up there on this platform, it's one of those events you have to wait because your sidekick, more or less in the game, in this case, is trying to breach or go through some security system and turn off things so you can pass into another section. You know how it is in games sometimes, and you have to survive that room, if we put it like that.
So like waves, essentially.
Yeah, in a way, yes. And I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do. I never got. You stomp on them too, like in Dead Space, and you can get some heal or whatever have you. But that's the thing too. In this game, I mean, in Dead Space 2, you can literally walk and heal at the same time. Boop, instantly. Here, he's doing an animation where he sits down in a freaking yoga posture and puts the goddamn healing pistol to his neck, like healing up. What happens, do you think? Do you have time for that? No, I went to fucking corner, sat down and healed, and I got hit by a monster and died. It's stupid. And I mean, what it doesn't tell you either, the game. Isaac find out like almost by coincidence. If you sit down and heal like a freaking yoga healer, and they come at you, if you dodge, like use the dodge mechanics, then he kind of canceled the animation of doing that, so he kind of gets up in time, and even so he continued to heal for some reason. It's just those kind of details when it comes to gameplay is super annoying when it's like kind of hard as it is in that situation. Because when I watch the clips afterwards, I see that I was playing really well, even though I was struggling with these things, and also partly the performance. Sometimes, when you lose frames, it starts. Should I dodge now? I should dodge. Yeah, I did. Oh, phew. But it just becomes dumb. I don't have anything against like challenges and it can be hard. That can be really fun, but this just becomes dumb. Also, when you have upgraded this like electric rod, the stick, the melee weapon, it's like a heavy blow. You really, it's a slow, like boom, like this, and it's like a crowd hit more or less. So if it's 2, it's really good, or 3 coming at you. But doing so, you also think that you will like hit through their guard or whatever have you, because they're quite smart, these bastards. So, but apparently it didn't, because if one guy starts an animation of hitting you, even though I hit like with this super heavy blow, I get hit. It doesn't make sense, That's what I was saying when I talked about like the balance. Don't get me wrong. This is it's a good game. I mean, I can see that if you also have a really good PC setup, it will look great. It looks like good for me, and I'm playing on quite low settings right now to get at least some kind of decent FPS. But again, if you have 60 frames and then you go into a room and all of a sudden you have 27, I mean, yes, it will kind of affect your game. Apparently, I'm not sure if it's a leak or any statement from the studio, but there was someone that screwed up at the end of the making, so the performance didn't really reach the potential, at least not yet, as it was meant to. Of course, again, it's a new game, and it also, every new game coming out now needs like the
it needs a patch and everything.
It needs but it also needs the power of a more powerful or a new PC, the parts that's needed for like newer games. I can understand that to a certain extent, but again, as I told you, even though I have things to say about Modern Warfare 2, for example, I mean, I can play that without problem. That's a multiplayer game, and I don't have any problems. So of course, it's also a huge part is the optimization that is poor.
Yeah,
and it's sad, because I mean, I like the game. It has those things that I just pointed out that is kind of that makes it dumb, and I really got mad during the stream. It was like true rage from my part, and that's very rare. But as I said, when things becomes dumb, and especially since I'm not even playing on hard, that's what was also my reaction. I stomped like 10 enemies these rounds when I was respawning and doing it again. And once I got ammo for the gun, because unfortunately when it came into that level, my gun was empty. So I couldn't do, as I mentioned before, these combos that easily stun them so I can just finish them off. So it's like, help, I even said in the stream, you know what, guys, I think especially due to the performance for me, I will play this part off stream and then we can move on.
Just from your description of the game, I can tell just how much it's got you frustrated, I can just tell just from the way in which, like, you started off, oh yeah, so I was playing this new game, brilliant game, and it sucks. Yeah, that's pretty much how you went. That's pretty much what you sounded like for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, as said, it is cool. I like this. I mean, I love Dead Space. Dead Space is by far one of the best games that has ever been made, like Dead Space 1 and 2. It was as close as perfection you can get, but especially when it comes to a genre like that, like a horror shooter kind of game. And as you may know, later or at the beginning, I talked about 2023 and a new year that is arriving. I think in February or something, we will get the remaster. Also, is it a remaster? Remake?
Isn't it going to be on Game Pass or something?
I don't know. Maybe. I have no idea. I haven't really been checking. I actually canceled my Game Pass for this month. Yeah, for this month I did. There was nothing really right now, and then
No.
yeah, I know,
I
I
can't be
know.
in Game Pass by myself. This is horrible.
It's horrible. I know it's freaking horrible. Yeah, but even so, what I'm just trying to say is that yeah, I'm happy. I mean, I played the Dead Space games. Maybe I'm not gonna get the like the new version of the old game just to relive what I've played already, I believe. But
Mhm.
I'm kind of jealous when it comes to people that have never played the game before. What kind of an opportunity they have in front of them,
Mhm.
when this releases. If of course you're into that kind of game, that has to be said.
I think for
Uh,
our time it was beautiful for what it was. Like it came
yes.
out, it looked great for its time and so forth.
Yes, it
It's gonna
still
look.
looks good actually.
It
I mean,
still looks good.
Isaac,
Yeah.
yeah, Isaac just started to play. I think, man, I don't know. I think he played it 4 or 5 times. I'm not kidding you. I think that was it Dead Space 2 now? I just came out the other day. Yeah, and he was playing. I was like, wow, okay. And it still looks really good. Yeah.
Quality game,
But even
quality
so,
games.
yeah,
Mm,
yeah.
that's the thing.
Sorry, I interrupted you. You
Oh
were
no, no,
onto
no!
something.
Perfectly fine indeed. As I say,
Mm,
it's a good looking game.
mm.
As for me, what I've been playing this week, I've been mainly playing eFootball 2023. Whenever I get a moment,
Oh, okay.
I'm back on
Mm.
my eFootball. I'm kicking back and just doing my thing. I've not been playing much of anything else, to be quite frank.
Yeah.
I think other than Pokemon, I've not been playing anything else. Though I do have a few games that I do want to jump into very, very soon. I just want to finish Pokemon off first before I jump into them.
Mm.
So I think today, during the course of today, I'm gonna probably spend the time playing some Pokemon and actually trying to finish the main story campaign. And that way I
Okay.
can, once it's done, I can put it on the side and I can focus on a couple other things that I want to jump into. One of the games I want to jump into now is this Marvel game that came out recently.
Aha.
I
Okay.
got a review copy for it, which is Midnight Suns, Marvel Midnight Sun. So
Mm.
I do want to jump into that game. That's one of the games I want to jump into. And then there are a few football games that came out during during this time of the year that I want to jump into as well. They're sort of like what do you call these things? They're sort of like not
Is it
realistic.
management? No,
No, no,
not
no,
that.
no,
No,
no.
no.
The ones that are like arcadey, like arcade football
Aha.
games.
Okay. Oh, okay. Oh,
So I've got a
cool.
few of those I want to jump into. There's also Soccer Story, which is on Game Pass that I want to hop into as well. I've got
Mm.
those all loaded up on my Xbox and ready to go. So as soon as I'm
Yeah.
finished with Pokemon, I'm jumping into those and I'm going to be playing a bit of them.
Damn.
Just getting a feel for some new stuff. But for now, still playing some eFootball, enjoying myself, and yeah, just building up my team, having fun. The only thing I would say is that the servers have gotten worse with time, as in the lag
Oh.
is atrocious at some points, but it's still not too bad. It's still not the worst of the worst. I'm still having fun so far for now anyway. But you do feel the lag, and it
Oh.
does irk sometimes when you're playing and you're just like, oh good lord, why is it so bad at the moment?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the only the only downside to it all. As for films, as we should just jump into the film section.
Sure.
I've been watching a news show, which is rare. I've not been watching anything new recently, and all of a sudden I jumped into this new series called Man Like Mobeen
Mm-hmm.
on Netflix, and I can't remember how I got into this. Like I think I just stumbled across it. It was probably in my feed, on my Netflix feed or something. Or I was scrolling through. I can't remember where I found it, to be honest, but it popped up and I clicked on it. I think I saw a clip from it, I think, and it was funny. It was a really funny clip. It was about this guy braiding his sister's hair and then telling her, this sort of Pakistani Muslim guy from who lives in the UK born Pakistani guy of Pakistani descent.
Mm.
And he's braiding his sister here and telling her about how like I think they were trying to get a dress or something. He's like, oh, we can't buy that dress. This is not from the side of Pakistan that we support or whatever have you, right? But really, realistically, he can't buy the dress because it's too expensive, right? So when I saw those clips, I was like, this looks hilarious. I gotta watch this, right? So I put it on. I watched I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna watch episode 1 while I'm eating something. I watched the first episode and I'm laughing. I'm laughing from it's sort of got a similar vibe to. There's a comedy series I watched that was similar to it, and I think it's similar to Superstore in a certain extent. It's a sort of comedy where it's not you're not hearing people laughing in the background, but it's sort of real life kind of like strange things going on, but it's funny at the same time. The delivery is funny, and so for me right now, this is my new Superstore at this point in time, and it's hilarious. The guy Mobeen, the main character, he's a 28-year-old. The description says it's a 28-year-old Bromi Muslim. I don't know what Bromi means. He's single-handedly raising his 15-year-old sister. And he, basically it shows the struggles of his crime past. So basically he used to be a criminal, and I think he used to sell drugs or something, or he had some kind of history where he was partaking in drugs when he was a kid himself. He was about 15 at the same time when he was doing that kind of nonsense. But the police are always out for him, even though he's changed his life and he's not out. So whatever, he's hanging out on the street with his friends and stuff. Like they always put up. He's like, "What are you trying to do on Mans? Mans and do nothing." And his sister is the sister is really spunky. She's always giving him chats and chatting with his friends and stuff. He's got two friends. His friends are hilarious. One of them, he's sort of like the way he's portrayed as this sort of like this guy who's not too smart, so he's sort of he's sort of the one who's like, yeah, not too smart, just keeps getting into trouble and stuff like that, but getting into trouble for unintelligible things. So for example, he gets arrested by the police at one point. And
oh wow!
And the officer, no, he was wrongfully arrested, but he's arrested.
Of course,
they take him, and when they come to collect him from the police station, the police are like, just take him, and he's talking to the officer. He's like, "Oh, so let me just tell you about it. No, you gotta watch this episode of that show, and oh, it's so brilliant, and this thing and that thing." And he's like, "You know what? I could just stay. You guys have more cookies."
Yeah,
hilarious.
Yeah.
So the show is the sister is played. Let me just read off the cast. So the sister is played by Dua Karim. The Mobeen, who's the brother, he's played by Guz Khan. Tez Lias plays 8, who's the kind of weird friend, and then you have Nate, who's played by Talu Ugumenfun. I don't know, a lot of strange names. And then you have, I think the only other character who's as important is Officer Harper, who's played by Perry Fitzpatrick. So those are I would say those are the 5 most important characters. There's another character called Uncle Shady, but Uncle Shady's annoying. I can't stand him. He's like, he's an annoying character.
Just a name, bro.
He's like there was one point where I love the fact that because they're like touching on certain experiences yeah, he's not their actual uncle, by the way. He's like, because like in Pakistani and Indo people backgrounds, it's like anyone who's like an older person is like an uncle. So Uncle Shady is an uncle in that sense. And at one point he had to Mobeen he wanted to get married, right? Because his sister was saying like, "Oh, you're not my mom," and everyone's telling like Mobeen, like, she needs a motherly touch, Mobeen, you should get married and stuff. So he's like, I guess I should get married. So he decides to go for an arranged marriage, right? Because some of the other uncles were telling him like, you should get an arranged marriage, it's amazing. And he was supposed to go with this uncle that he's chill with, but that uncle didn't turn up. He said he was sick or something, right? And he's like, "Oh, but don't worry, Uncle Shady's gonna be there." He's like, "I'm not that idiot." And then he turns around, Uncle Shady's like, "What idiot are you talking about?" He's like, "Hey, Uncle Shady." And Uncle Shady, my guy is weird. They meet up for the thing, and instead of trying to talk up Mobeen, he's like, "Oh yeah, he's an idiot. He's a delinquent, horrible." He's just saying all the worst things about Mobeen. And then when the dad of the girl starts like saying the same stuff, he's like, "You can't say that about Mobeen. Only I can say that about Mobeen," right? And then the two of them start fighting. So it is hilarious. This is my new it's an 8.1 and an 8.0 on IMDb. I will rank it even higher. I will say this show is easily a 9. I won't say 10 yet because I'm only like I think I'm like 3 or 4 episodes in, but right now it's easily a 9. It is hilarious. I am just enjoying the episode so far, and the good thing about it too is that there's a lot of seasons already, so I've got a good weight to like I can enjoy it, savor it basically for the time being.
Cool.
So yeah, man, like Mobeen.
I'm not sure you said it. How many seasons are there so far? You know.
Let me check
And
quickly.
what platform are we talking about?
Netflix.
Maybe you said that.
So
Netflix. Okay,
it's
sorry.
yeah, it's on Netflix. Because that's you know sometimes you go in your feed and you see stuff. So it's on Netflix. Seasons. It has 4 seasons. 4 seasons.
Okay.
Season 4, episode 1 actually comes out 2023. So it's been renewed.
Nice.
But we've got season 1, season 2, and season 3. I should note one more thing about it though, is that because I feel like Alex is she's gonna sort of like she's gonna come at me for not if I don't say this. She actually recommended it to me ages ago and I just ignored her. So yeah, she was like, oh, you might like this series, you should check it out. And a lot of times she might recommend stuff to me. Sometimes I'm just like, yes, I'm not gonna like that. But this one I did enjoy, and I actually did not know she recommended it until I went downstairs and I'm like, babe, you gotta check out this series. It's so good. And she's like rolling her eyes and stuff. I'm like, what's wrong? I recommended that to you like ages ago.
Oh man.
So yeah, it was. I was like, well, it's a good series.
Good.
So yeah.
Happy to hear that you found. Yeah, it's also nice when it's a bit like different, if that makes sense.
Yes, it is different.
Sometimes, as I told you, I've been watching also like, recently. Not talking about them though, but some also movies like Indonesian Chinese like movies, and it can be really refreshing with another like aspect of like the language and the culture and everything. It becomes different,
Mm-hmm.
And it can be cool, but also something that is just fun to watch. I can hear that you're having a good laugh here. So it's Uncle Shady.
Uncle Shady, man.
It
Uncle
sounds
Shady.
like a freaking Eminem character.
You should see him.
I'm Uncle Shady. Or Shady, Uncle Shady.
Actually, there's a point where Uncle Shady DJs and he is singing as well, but he's horrible at it. He is absolutely horrible, right? Like the worst, the absolute worst. So yes, well, he's just bad at everything. Uncle Shady is the worst, So Mobeen does not like Uncle Shady, and we don't either. So yeah. But it's a good show. It's a good show. You even get like even the police officer, like he's supposed to he's always like trying to arrest Mobeen and stuff like that. But he himself looks out for Mobeen. So like, there's a scene where there's like this white supremacist sort of guy who's like talking about all this sort of stuff. And he kind of like puts Mobeen and the guy into a van. Like he arrests both of them basically. And while they're in the van, the two of them get to talking. And they're just talking about like it's sort of like a moment where they kind of get to talk about what their similarities are, and Mobeen gets to like vent his stuff while the guy vents his stuff. But it's interesting, it's a good mix. I like it. I like Mobeen. I think it's hilarious. Cool. So yeah, it is hilarious. That being said, Rod, you've been watching something that I've not heard about. I did not notice there was I didn't notice this existed until you just mentioned it. Oh, I should say you sent it to me. So
I think a lot of people don't. You can go on. Go on. You wanted to say something more about it.
It's also on Netflix, and it came out this year as well, 2022. Netflix, and it's also made by someone who's quite famous indeed. So
true.
Go for it.
Yeah, I gotta go for it. This is one of the best movies I've seen this year. And I hope you will like it too as a recommendation. As you said, it's on Netflix. It was released on December 9, and it's the movie is a classic in itself because we're talking about Pinocchio, and I think more or less everyone knows something at least about Pinocchio. I mean, I grew up with like the Disney Pinocchio and some Czech series. I don't know. It was on the children's channel when I was a kid. But this is different in two ways. Well, first off is the take of Mr. Guillermo del Toro. And if you know Guillermo del Toro, he's made movies like Pan's Labyrinth, for example, which I highly recommend, and others. And he and his crew has been working on this movie for 15 years.
Wow.
15 years. Why, you might ask? Well, it's a stop motion movie.
Mm-hmm.
So it has been taken all these years. And before I even say something about it, if you watch it, take your time also afterwards to check out the behind the scenes
Mm-hmm.
episode where you can follow Guillermo and the crew working on this movie and the film set and everything with the techniques of stop motion. He brought together some of the best stop motion workers in the world together. And yeah, so this is a stop motion, meaning an animated movie to that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the famous Pinocchio, but as said, Guillermo wanted to make his own kind of version, and it's just brilliant. I really loved it. It was really, it's one of those movies that you can sit down with the whole family, with your
Mm-hmm.
grandma, with your babies. It's just it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny, it's sad, it's happy, it's all that. It's life. It's a whole like story about life and partly afterlife in a way, without spoiling. And I can highly recommend it. I hope you guys take your time to watch this too, Q, because it's really really good with the kids.
Mm-hmm.
It has a 7.9 out of 10. I am surprised it doesn't have. I think for some people this movie might be a bit. I don't know how to put it. Maybe not everyone really can grasp like the whole kind of message and like the layers in this version of Pinocchio. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also happy that they made him, again without spoiler. I'm also happy that they made him as they did.
Mm-hmm.
That was clearly from Guillermo's part. He really wanted him to be not this, like, in Disney, he looks like a normal boy, almost
Mm-hmm.
flesh and blood as they
Mm-hmm.
animated him, even though he's like made of wood.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's not the case here. He's very raw
Yeah.
looking. And but again, 7.9. I would easily give it an 8.5 or 9. It's really really good, a sweet movie. And again, I highly recommend it. Yeah, so that's Pinocchio for you by Guillermo del Toro. Yeah, good stuff.
Oh, classic stuff, you know.
It is. But
Mm-hmm.
again, with a new suit here, especially from the hand of him.
I've seen the trailer now while you were talking about it, and I can see the roughness and he does look like wood, and I think there's a scene where his nose starts growing branches and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah.
So
Yes,
yeah, leaves and all that kind of stuff. He does look like he's actually made from wood, like a wooden boy, and it does have that very sort of like gritty nightmare sort of like stop motion sort of style you'd see in something
Yeah.
like what's that one with the what do you call it, with the guy who A Nightmare Before Christmas. It sort of
Yeah.
has that very similar vibe as that is what I'm getting from it.
True.
The only thing I can say is you actually said something incorrect. You missed stated something. Yeah, you missed something in it. So I just wanted to correct you on that. You said that he had the best stop motion actors in the industry to do it, and I did not hear Isaac's name mentioned. So fortunately, you were wrong.
True. Yeah, he
so-
missed that out. No, that is true. It was really a treat. It was a treat for Isaac to watch this, as you said, since he started his movie making by doing stop motion. It was this easy concept. I remember when he started to do that on his YouTube channel, with Lego and just a simple mobile camera. And yeah, I guess that's how many people just start doing stop motion. And it's a beautiful old technique of making these kind of movies. It's time consuming. It takes a long time. I mean, again, this has been taking 15 years. Of course, that also has to do with the fact that there's been other projects going on at the same time. I mean, Guillermo has been doing other stuff.
Yeah.
But again, it does take time. I mean, if you watch the documentary regarding the movie, there are certain scenes that just takes 3 months to do, one scene. So it's also so amazing to see the the technique and craftsmanship behind it. That's what I wanted to point out as well. It's just beautiful how they have been able to get it all together the way they did,
Mm-hmm.
especially some of the that struck me the most, maybe some of the ways they have been able to do the face expressions
Mm-hmm.
and how they react in a way to certain things. It looks very much alive,
Mm-hmm.
especially some of the characters. When it comes to Pinocchio, without spoiling, I mean, they had maybe like 50 different heads that they just changed due to the different expressions he had on his wooden face. Yeah, all that kind of stuff. So, beautiful saga. Check it out. And just before I leave the whole kind of film tips section here, I just also wanted to say that and when I say we, it's actually both me, Annalie, and Isaac. Also now, when me and Annalie was more sitting still, we watched the newest Star Wars series, which is called Ando, which
Ooh.
is one season. Yeah, and this is definitely one of I think this is the best Star Wars series at the moment. It actually also beats Mandalorian. It has the best, how to put it, like the storyline. It goes into the Rogue, actually. It kind of leads into the Rogue part,
Mm-hmm.
again, without spoiling. And good actors, actresses, and as I said, the storyline is it's compelling. It like holds everything together really well, and it's exciting, and but also good like dialogues and characters.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy to see that again. Stellan Skarsgård is has a huge role here, and is doing once again a really good performance. It's like a Camelot. He can,
Mm-hmm.
goddamn, you will see also in the movie. But even so, it's good. So I can also recommend Andor, that you can find on Disney
Is there any
Plus.
is there prerequisites for watching it? As in, should you watch any of the other Disney stuff first, or is it
No,
something you can just jump
no.
into?
Yes, you can just jump into it. Yeah.
Okay, Andor it is.
Mm.
I will keep that on the watching burner,
Yes.
as well as Pinocchio, which has been added to the list with a 7.9
Good.
out of 10 on
Mm.
IMDb. It's actually ranked 15th in the most popular series right now in the
Oh,
world,
okay.
Pinocchio.
All
So
right.
it's pretty up there. I mean, it is new. So yeah,
Yeah.
15th in the world, not a bad ranking if I do say so myself on IMDb.
No.
I'd say
No,
that's
it's
quite
good.
popular indeed.
It's true.
Number one right now ranked in the world is actually Bullet Train 2022. Actually,
Oh, really?
yeah,
Okay.
that's
I
number
haven't
one.
watched that
I
actually.
haven't
Have
seen it
you?
either. No, I haven't seen it
No.
yet. It was on my watch list though, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
So I will
I know
have
that
to see.
Adam watched it, my oldest son,
Mhm.
Adam, and he really liked it. He recommended it, but I haven't had the chance to watch
I
it
wonder
yet.
what
Maybe.
it's on. Maybe I should rent it and just watch it
Yeah,
or
I was
purchase it or
thinking the
something.
same.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. That's
Yeah.
not a priority right now.
Nah.
Unless of course if it's on Netflix, then I mean, if it's on Netflix, then we have to watch it.
Yeah.
So
Easy watch.
exactly.
Oh, I think you can watch it through like YouTube also. Like,
I
actually.
know YouTube. You can pay £3.49 and watch it on there. Is what I'm
Mm.
seeing. I'm seeing it on YouTube
Yeah.
for £3.49. But yeah, we shall see. By the way, speaking of films to watch, you're gonna see Avatar, aren't you? Because we need to spoiler talk that movie. Are you gonna see it?
Well, the new Avatar, definitely. Yeah.
Okay, because like that comes out on Friday,
On
right?
Friday.
Yeah.
Oh, it's one of those that are just dropping before Christmas, as they did with talking about Star Wars. Like the Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
They tend to. Yeah. Okay.
It's dropping. Like so.
Ooh.
So it's coming out on Friday.
Oh, yeah. I gotta look into that.
I'm thinking to take Alex and we can go see it. If I don't go anywhere on Friday, I may go somewhere on Friday, but I can take a lunchtime if she wants to go. We can go on lunchtime and go watch it or something. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I do want to go see it. If not, I'll see it next week, or maybe Sunday night. Maybe Sunday night. Maybe.
I'm
Yeah,
afraid I won't. I won't be able to watch it most likely before the new year, because I'm
Why?
gonna be. Yeah, we're gonna be. This is the thing. We're gonna be away from the 23rd, coming home 27th. 27th, I'm gonna pick up my mom. She's coming down,
Ooh.
and I don't think I go to the Avatar movies with her.
You could
So
see it
and she's.
before. It's Friday. Tomorrow is Friday, Rog. It's the 16th.
Oh, it's this Friday.
That's what I'm
Oh,
saying.
sorry. I thought it was like
No.
Ah,
It
okay.
comes out tomorrow. You could watch it either tomorrow or over the weekend. It's available now.
That's
so you could easily say, you know what, like let's go, let's take the whole family, go check it out. It's gonna be huge. It's Avatar. You know how long we've waited for this movie? This movie's been in the makings for like, I don't know, since we were born.
Literally since we were born. Okay.
That movie took so long. It's probably gonna be like 5 hours or something. Probably. Oh. It better be 5 hours or something.
No.
Yeah, remember when the first one came out? It was like 3 hours for that whole film. I think they better. The only thing I can think about though, when I think about it, is that I hope they don't. You know, that sort of like sequel, sort of like the sequel curse where sequels usually tend to be crap. I hope this doesn't have that.
Exactly. Yeah, I was thinking the same. I really hope that's not the case here.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed, you know.
It says 2 hours and 42 minutes for this. So yeah, we'll see how well this film does. Currently right now it does have votes. Like, people have reviewed this already. So the screening, people have seen the screening. And IMDb has it sitting at a 7.8 out of 10, with Rotten Tomatoes having it for 82. I actually don't trust Rotten Tomatoes. They have really crap reviews. So I prefer IMDb. So IMDb with a 7.8, 1.8 people have reviewed it. I think that's not bad. That's not bad at all.
That's very good.
7.8 is a healthy start for a film. So I'm looking forward to checking this out, actually. And this is going to be interesting.
Cool.
So, yeah. So, Raj, there's a thing we should do right about now. What's that thing called?
Shout out for your podcast.
There's no shout out for your podcast this week. I wasn't listening to you. There's no channel leader shout out for this week. So unfortunately for those of you expecting a shout out this week, next time suggest something, right? You know, don't blame me, blame yourself for not suggesting anything. All right, so
you just did a 360 turn there, almost like politicians sometimes do. All of a sudden, it's not their fault; it's your fault.
Exactly. You should have made sure that there wasn't enough money in the economy and stuff like that. You should. You know what? Speaking of politicians,
you are the one that needs to turn down the heat now because the electricity price is high.
Exactly. You know, like the politicians here in the UK are talking something about. I was listening to one talking about how they can't pay nurses and stuff more money because the nurses are going on strike and stuff. And then it's like, yeah, but the interview, and this is something I love about British interviewers and journalists, they tend to really go in hard. The interview was like, yeah, but Mr. Minister, like, you guys got a raise, right? Like, you guys got an increase in salary over this period of time, you know?
Oh, look at that.
And then he's like, yeah, but an independent bodies who decides who like, you know, decides price. He's like, but Mr. Minister, they that independent body is just makes suggestion. The government can decide not to follow those suggestions, right? And like, yeah, but you know, like, I need my money. You know? So that's not. He didn't say that, but that's what he was thinking. You know, I know he was thinking it. He was like, because the thing is that they've increased the salaries of the nurses, I think, by about 7% or whatever have you, but it's underneath inflation, because I think inflation is like 15 or something. So even though they increase the salary, it's still not enough. You're not getting, you're literally that increase. It's not like you actually got a raise. It's like you lost money in the end. So the nurses and the trained people and all that kind of stuff, they're all planning strikes. And you know what? I say go for it, right? I say go for it. Do your thing.
Yeah.
I say the ones that should do the most, the ones that are in the places where these government ministers live and stuff like that. So when they go to the hospital and stuff, they tell them, "Oh, sorry, mate, can't help you out. Sorry, buddy. Yeah, it's a real shame, is it? Yeah, you can't. You know, if only we had enough nurses. Yeah, I know you need a medical procedure because you're an old person and you happen to be a government minister and all that. But yeah, sorry. Yeah, we've got like 50 other people ahead of you. These are all taxpayers. Sorry. Yeah, you're not really a proper taxpayer. What a shame.
And my work ends exactly now. And unfortunately, they could. Oh yeah, you couldn't afford the overtime, right? The pay.
Yeah.
So I have to go. Sorry, got to pick up my son now. Later.
I was about to catch lunch. Harry, you going for lunch right now? I was about to catch lunch, mate. Sorry. Yeah, can't wait. Sorry, mate. Yeah, it's a real shame though. I hope you get some help though. I hope someone helps you. Bye. Honestly, I think these government ministers should just get, like, they should be treated like that. Like for the way in which they're like Like, give the people a raise somehow, man. Like, you can't tell me, like, if they slash all the salary, because these government ministers don't get paid like pennies, right? You're telling me if these guys, and there are a lot of people in these ministerial positions, it's not like it's 5 ministers or something. I think it's like a couple hundred of them, right? Because you have the opposition bench, you have the people in power, the government, and all that kind of stuff, and they're all getting paid nice and swimmingly. You know, I still wouldn't. I can never understand why government ministers get paid so much. Like, they should be paid less, right? I think, and you know what's the most disgusting sort of comment I've heard. One person was trying to say, oh well, you know, nursing should be a calling. They shouldn't do it for the money. Government ministers should be a calling. Do it for the freedom, man. Don't do it for the money. Be like, oh yeah, I'll become a minister just because I care about the people. Like, oh That's disgusting. Like, why would you say, like, who would say that kind of stuff? Like, oh, they'll do. So these people should just die then. They can't feed their houses, but they need to go and work because, oh, it's a calling. Yeah, nursing it's just a thing you do nicely because you care about people. No, you care about people, but you still have to survive and you still have to put food on the table and you still have to take care of your families and all these sort of stuff. Nah, fam. Sorry. Can't have it. Can't have it. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
Yeah. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, that's a big discussion, of course, but all this kind of, when it comes to like healthcare and education also, I mean, it's very, very important things. One is to take care of people that are sick and also like elderly people to a high degree, if we look at statistics and stuff. And the other one is, of course, raising like new citizens, you know, that hopefully get a good education and can, you know, get out of school with some decent grades. Yeah. Now that's a problem too. Also here in Sweden, I mean, it has degraded. Unfortunately, it's many reasons for that. I'm not getting into that right now, but it is. And also the discussion, I can hear that it's like the similar thing as in the UK when it comes to the healthcare. I mean, we lost like a few years ago, we lost like 500 beds literally when it comes to places at hospitals, you know, because they pulled the money away due to savings and stuff like that. But I think, as you said or pointed out, I mean, I don't have a problem. I think, I think politicians, like they should be well paid, but then they also need to do the work, but it shouldn't be like overpaid, and especially if it's sort of a balance between if you're not able to raise the salaries of for example the nurses in this case, well then you shouldn't raise your own salary.
It shouldn't be
it becomes so it's the whole kind of I don't know, the economy system and the more like the ecosystem of the society becomes very how do you say, unbalanced, almost if we're talking about unbalance in a video game or a shooter that I'm playing, you know, like certain weapons are just stronger and more you know, they put more money into it just to make them even better, and they get OP and it's like it doesn't so it's same here, because it's easy living. Then you start to talk about the crisis and like as I guess almost made a joke about the electricity and the prices has gone up, and it's a lot of reasons for that too. And they are also saying, well, I'm freezing too. Well, you're freezing, but you have like triple the wages I have for each month. So I don't think you are.
You're definitely not freezing. They're definitely not.
You know,
they're definitely not.
It's a different thing. You know, it's a whole different league or level we're talking about here. So, well,
these politicians are swimming in comfort. Like, they're definitely not freezing. You know, and they're definitely they're definitely not thinking, to make a decision between, do I buy food this month or do I heat my house,
but, you know,
or do I freeze?
It's the way of trying to reach, like trying to be like me and you. It's one of those, you know, they are hearing the complaints, they're hearing the complaints, and they want to show that they care and that they are, well, I'm like you, I'm I'm the same.
Mm-hmm.
I'm flesh and bones myself. Yeah, of course you are. But again, the situation when it comes to what's in your wallet and mine, that's a different story. And we all know that, unfortunately, at this point of time, especially in times of when there's like bad times, which I think we are in right now,
Mm-hmm.
then it will cost more, and it will cost more for people that don't have as much money as someone that has more money. It's just as simple as that. It's math. It's just
This is why I
numbers.
say politicians shouldn't be paid the amounts they get paid, and they should be paid partial to the rest of society. Because I think if they're living on a similar sort of like wage with the same sort of benefits and everything that everyone else has, they will have more incentive to do more for people. Because if they're getting paid around the same amount as what a nurse would be getting, or the average, like, politicians should be paid minimum wage, to be honest. Whatever the minimum wage is, that should be what the politicians are given. Because what that would do is, from their perspective, if they want to live a good life, they would raise the minimum wage, or they would find a way to make the minimum wage a more sustainable sort of like wage that people can live a comfortable enough life with, or they'll make sure the services that you get with that minimum wage are partial to it, that you're getting a good enough service from it and thinking, hey, you know what, that's not half bad. I'm good with this. I'm quite comfortable. And it, like you said, like, they try to be like us. They should be like us, because if they have to try to be like us, or try to seem as if they've got a similar experience in us, then that's not good, because it's a lie, at the end of the day. But if they do have the same sort of similar experiences as us, their decisions will be decisions that would benefit us rather than decisions that benefit them, because right now it's an us and them. They live a different life than us, and they make decisions that benefit them and people like them, which we happen not to be. We're not in the wealthiest bracket of people, whereas politicians all tend to be in. And that's not just here in the UK or in Sweden or whatever. It's every country. Politicians are some of the wealthiest people in the countries that they come from. And I think that's ridiculous. Why should the wealthiest people in these countries make decisions for the average person that are not as wealthy, because as we know, wealthy people don't usually make decisions to benefit people not as wealthy as them. They usually make decisions to have more wealth. That's kind of the thing. But anyway, we're ending the show right now. I digress. We could go into this all day.
True. There's more to it, definitely.
There's so much more to it.
Yeah.
So Raj, how about we say goodbye to listeners? And
yes, we should do that. Guys, as always, I hope you have enjoyed. We've had a good time here. It was good to be back and doing another episode. And as always, it's a mix of everything, right? And I really think you got some good tips this time around also when it comes to games, or maybe games not to play for now. Wait to see. But definitely some good shows when it comes to series and a film or two. So check that out. And of course, stay healthy. I hope you guys won't catch what I just got, or cue for that sake, when it comes to flus and colds and shit. Even though it's that kind of season, drink something hot and enjoy life, enjoy gaming, something good to watch, and just have a blast, So before next time, take care, and muffin and out.
Beautiful as always. So that, guys, thank you very much for listening to this episode of That Beautiful Life podcast. You can find Raj pretty much everywhere at 40 Split Splash. That's number 4 Twitter, SPLISH, SPLESH. It's on the screen for those of you watching on YouTube. You can find me at LP Garden. That's Garden Toto U. You can find pretty much me everywhere by that name. Raj also, you can find him at Splish and Splash on YouTube. Someone's actually commenting here. Someone named Gappy. Glad I was able to catch one of these. Oh, thank you, Gappy. Who is? Thank you for commenting, Roger. We've got a live comment on the podcast. Gappy, your name has been immortalized in this particular episode of That Beautiful Life podcast. Yes. So thank you for catching us live, and also for giving the like. I'm sure we've got 3 likes on this episode so far. It's beautiful. Keep it going. So what was I saying again? Oh, right. So you can find Raj. You stream Raj. He streams on a Tuesday, Wednesday, and on Sundays. Is that correct?
Correct, monsieur.
Love it. I stream on a Monday and a Thursday. So today is Thursday. I will be streaming this afternoon. For those of you who want to catch me on stream, you can find me at Simply Binge on Twitch. I'll be streaming this afternoon on Twitch, so you can come and catch me on Twitch on a Thursday. So did I say everything? Yeah.
No, there's one more thing, right?